Gemini, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your reading for the 16th to the 22nd of December. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. It's fantastic having you here, and if you're new, big welcome to you. If you haven't subscribed yet, little red button underneath will do the job for you. But please come on board. If the readings don't resonate with you, that's fine. I mean, you can move on, but I would recommend that you check out the other aspects on your natal chart, on your that were with you, the planets that were with you at the time you were born, where they were. You can do that through Cafe Astrology and put your birth details in, and it will tell you about all your planets. The other thing is, I'd like to strongly encourage you to join my Facebook page, the Aussie Goddess. I do run comps. I try to run one a week. Sometimes it might go a little bit over, and I currently have one running on my page at the moment. So if you're interested in doing that, please go and join up for that. What else? I think that's everything. Using the Witch's Tarot here, Gemini. So let's get cracking, huh? Okay, so the card that's come out for you, for your general energy of the week, is the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is a card that talks about dispute. Now, in the traditional tarot, we see a man standing with 3 swords and 2 on the ground, and he's just won a battle, so he's looking very smug and pleased with himself. In this card, however, the swords are just sitting there and they're not really doing anything. For me, the card is about, understanding that you've won something, but what you win may not be what you thought it was going to be. It may not take the form of something that you wanted from it. And I always talk about, winning the battle but not winning the war. Sometimes it can talk about, you may have had to cut someone out of your life that you really didn't want to lose, but because of some behaviours or some sort of situation, you've had to cut them out. Okay, so the first card we have out here is the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands talks of being defensive, of having to stick up for oneself, of feeling sort of maybe a little victimised and feeling like you have to sort of put up a bit of a fight. It's like fighting for your rights here. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups coming out. Now, the Ace of Cups talks about a brand new beginning in love. This is very nice. Brand new beginnings. Okay, and celebration as well. The Three of Cups comes out next, which talks about celebrating with family and friends. Can talk about a reunion too, or somebody coming in. Okay, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Now, I love this card because it talks all about patience, and I'm still learning patience. So I realised yesterday how impatient I was when I went Christmas shopping. I was impatient trying to get a park. I was running around the car park forever trying to find and I don't mind walking. There was nothing convenient at all for miles, so I end up having to drag my trolley for miles. But Christmas shopping is just hideous anyway, so I got most of it done, which was good. Now, the other thing it talks about is manifesting. So putting your seeds in for the future and manifesting in something new here. Okay, and then we have the Hanged Man. So this is the man who tries to find enlightenment, looking inside, looking at things from a different perspective. And it always reminds me of leaning over the side of the lounge when I was a kid and looking around the room, because it would be back to front. So it fascinated me, the feeling of looking at the room from a completely different perspective. Okay, then we have the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords shows a woman who's stuck in, or she thinks she's stuck in amongst a whole lot of swords. Now, she isn't stuck at all, and her bindings are very loose. They're almost falling off her. So she's actually sort of manifested herself into this situation through not looking at a way out. So it's like you know the way out, but you don't really want to know. So something that you should be getting out of here, you don't want to move from. You're looking for enlightenment though. Okay, you could have a fire sign that you're dealing with, a Leo, Sagittarius or Aries here. This person is probably very attractive, could be a leader. She's got really good intuition. She's got a cat on her lap. The flowers beside her show me that she's full of new life and sunshine. which is very, very beautiful, very attractive. I was trying to think before, it's that alluring, that, you know, that thing that people have that makes them feel so attractive. Okay, now we have you walking away from something here. So I have the Eight of Cups here. So this is about walking away to gain enlightenment. It's about emotional unfulfillment, looking for emotional fulfillment. So we have a couple of cards that really show this walking away from something, and you've got love here. So, and this one's another one that talks about, Four of Swords talks about going inside. This is about really taking time out to sort your thoughts out and your feelings out. Sometimes this can talk about operations too, or recovering after an operation. So some of you may have had some sort of procedure done and you may be waiting to find out about that. I'm going to do a recap before I put the last card down. Now, what we have here is we have some sort of conflict going on. There's definitely some conflict, and I've got to tell you, it could be around a third-party situation and love. I feel like there's sort of this defensive behaviour here. So maybe you've caught someone doing something they shouldn't have been doing, and now you're trying to walk away from this. I have the card of enlightenment and I have the card of emotional unfulfillment and moving towards something, and then the Eight of Swords and the Four of Swords, which tell me that it's really difficult to make a decision for you and that you're having to really look deep inside yourself to make a decision. I feel like this could be about a fire sign, but it might be someone who just has the attributes of a fire sign. But something's happened here and you need to move away from something. I feel like you may have known about this for some time, but now you've made the decision to move forward here. Maybe you've been trapped in this situation for a while and you weren't sure which way to go. And because of that, you've had to go deep inside to understand what is the best journey for you here. There may have been something that led up to this. Maybe you were questioning whether this was going on and you weren't getting the answers you needed to hear, and that's why we've got that arguing at the beginning. The really sad part is when I see the Five of Swords, I see people moving away from something, and it probably isn't something you wanted to leave, but you have no choice here. You have to move on. I feel like you're okay. You've got things, you know, in the pipeline. You don't have to worry. You can move on here. Maybe you're taking on this this Queen of Wands energy. I forgot my Gemini card. This Queen of Wands energy here too, because sometimes this is about, you know, getting into that sort of really passionate, driven self to be able to carry through this before you get to this Four of Swords energy and fall in a heap. I don't particularly like readings like this, but obviously there's enough people out there that need to hear it, that the general energies are coming through. So it's sort of like you can put down your burdens now. You don't have to be defensive anymore. You've obviously made the decision to move away from this situation. It's created a lot of conflict here because you didn't really want to go, but I think if there was a third party involved, you really don't have any choice but to move on. But definitely looking for a lot of enlightenment. You may have been doing a little bit of investigating yourself here to, you know, find out whether this was true or not. I really do feel like this is about self-love and moving away from something because you love and respect yourself enough not to stick around for any more pain and heartbreak. But you definitely got yourself to a point of enlightenment here, trying to understand what's happened here. What was the last card? Yeah, look. You poor thing. Nine of Swords coming out here. This is about sleepless nights here. What a decision to have to make. You know it's for the best, but it's the hardest thing to do. So maybe you need to consider, you know, in some of these cards here, whether you walk away or whether you spend time just reconsidering whether that's the best option for you with that Five of Swords down the front there. Because it does talk about, you know, walking away from something and feeling good about walking away, but what have you lost? Is it worthwhile, you know, looking at whether you could do this differently? But to me, it looks like someone else is involved here. So, as I said, you may have been suspecting this for a while. I feel like with some of these cards here, like the Seven of Wands here says to me, you've been fighting off these feelings for a while. But then the Seven of Pentacles tells me that you've been putting something away for a rainy day just in case. So I think for a lot of you, there's a situation here that you've got to manage, and it looks like you're going to have to walk away from it. So the card you got out was the Wish Upon a Star card, and it says, make a wish and expect the very best. So that's beautiful. So there you go, Gemini. If you make a wish, hopefully all your dreams will come true after you've walked away from what no longer serves you. Thank you for watching.